morning, everyone. Today we have Professor Vasant Kumar. He is a professor of anesthesiology at Adi Chunchandgiri Institute of Medical Sciences. So he was born in Sagara, Shimoga. He hails from my state, Karnataka. So he did his MBBS and DA from JJM Medical College, then MD from Government Medical College, Mysore. And he was also a gold medalist when he did his DYNC from Mysore Open University. He has worked as a teaching faculty in various institutes, and Sir has always been interested in these kind of topics, alternative therapies, and I guess like for every anesthetist, pain management becomes a very core principle, and from there, I presume that is how Sir's interest has got enhanced into all these topics. So he has been delivering various lectures on topics like anesthesia and spirituality, alternative methods of pain relief in the various mainstream national and international anesthesia conferences. So which is very commendable because in the mainstream conferences, most of the topics are just, as you all know, they are all related to our work and the regular topics. So in that mainstream, he has been delivering about all these alternative therapies, and that itself for me was like a very impressive thing. And Sir also has received a Lifetime Achievement Award from Global Peace Citizens USA in 2018. And he has participated in the service of Mission for Vision in the Gambia, West Africa twice. He has also acted in a few Kannada and Telugu movies, and his other fields of interest being singing, pencil sketches, and painting. So a versatile personality. So I welcome Professor Vasant Kumar. Good morning, sir. And we would like to hear from you, sir.
Before inviting Vasant sir, your understanding of holistic therapies, Dr. Chandra, you have been a speaker on this platform as well. So what do you think?
How... Dr. Ranjan, I am the host today.
Yeah, still.
Yeah, but I think it is very important because for us, all we can do is like do the surgeries or give anesthesia. But I think beyond that, we need to cater to the emotional needs of the patients as well. So that also becomes important. And of course, we also have our own stresses. So balancing everything becomes important. So I think these alternative therapies, holistic approaches in the mainstream hospitals, I think is a very important step towards holistic approach. So that's what I feel.
So Vasant sir, welcome on our platform, Spiritual Doctors for Holistic Health. We are running this platform for last 1.5 years.
Good morning.
Good morning, sir.
It is my privilege to interact with so many people, such a great personalities like Dr. Ranjan. They are doing a lot of service to the humankind, because there's always, I say, holistic therapy is going to be the future of medical treatment. Hello.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, can you hear me?
Okay, you can leave the mic, sir, and I think it will be okay for us.
Okay. That is going to be the future, and we are all started early. In another 10 to 15 years, it is going to be the peak. We becomes, of course, okay, no problem. We will all become, we are starting the foundation of holistic therapy. And in another 15, 20 years, this is going to be the future. I would like to share my videos. I mean, sorry, my slides.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, and as we all know, the definition of the health in as per WHO is not actually fulfilling the complete health. Actually, it is a Ayurvedic definition is wonderful. It gives a definition like Sushruta Samhita, Samadosha, Sama Agnischa, Samadatu, Malakriyaha, Prasanna Atma Indriya Manaha Swastya iti Abhidiyate. See, so wonderfully it defines the health. Actually, we should have Samadosha, Vata, Pitta, Kapha, Vinu, Sama Agnischa, digestion, assimilation and metabolism, Samadhatu, body tissues and components, and Malakriyaha, excretory function. And Prasanna Atma Indriya Manaha. I should have that Atma, my Indriyas, all 5 Indriyas and also the manas, the mind. That is called as the health as per Ayurveda, as per Sushruta Samhita. Such a wonderful definition by Ayurveda that gives a complete holistic approach to the well-being of a human being. And even in Kannada or even in Sanskrit, we use Arogya. Arogya means in Kannada we say Aru means six. Six yogas you should have it. Physical, mental, emotional, social, financial, and spiritual well-being. All six yogas. You should have well-being of a human being is called as Arogya. Another in Kannada we have a statement like that. See, such a wonderful statement, we get it only through holistic therapy or alternative medicine, whatever it called as alternative therapies. We don't get it in actually in other medicines. Okay. And what is happening in present day, if you see, I'm directly entering into the subject because we don't have much time. We have well-educated but mentally abnormal population we are able to see all over the world. Especially America, it has got a 1/3 to 1/4 of India's population, but it is spending around $3 trillion per year for illness. Just imagine if we just blindly start following the American way of life, American way of treatment, American way of all these things, then we may have to spend around $12 to $15 trillion per year for just to treat the illness. That's why we have to have our own way of methods, which we were practicing since more than 5 to 10,000 years. It was a part of our life, which is called as holistic. That is whole person healing. That is a wonderful way of treating the patient. And as we all know, most of the people, the day starts with B complex and ends with anxiolytics, modern day. And we are all well dressed, but really highly stressed. Everybody agrees with that actually. And we know a little bit about alternative therapies. We know alternative, complementary, integrative, holistic therapies, functional therapies. These are the different therapies. And this is called as is a group of diverse medical and healthcare system practices and products that are not generally considered part of the conventional modern medicine. That complementary medicine is used together with conventional medicine, and alternative medicine is used in place of conventional medicine, because most of the diseases we don't have, especially chronic or autoimmune diseases, we don't have answer in our allopathy, where we have to get into other holistic therapies or whole person healing. Then only we can have such a wonderful results. See, especially when we want to treat a patient, the most important aspect of the patient is, first is physical, second is emotional, third one is spiritual. These three are very, very, very important. Physical, we know. We don't care much about emotional in the modern day medicine, which is very, very important, because most of the diseases are associated with emotions. Some of my personal experiences also I'm going to share. See, fear, when people are with a lot of fear, they will have really degenerative or liver problems. With the greed and jealousy, chances of developing cancer. Stubborn and perfectionist. This is my personal experience. I have cured so many migraine patients without any drugs, because just by correcting their emotions, especially if it is the teenagers, they will have a stubborn character. If they are a little bit aged, most of the females, they suffer from migraine, they will have the perfectionist character. That is also one of the type of emotional imbalance. You cannot be a perfectionist. That means they want to keep everything in the proper place and it should be there. If husband or children or somebody disturbs it, they get irritated and they get the migraine. If they don't leave these characters, they will never come out of the migraine. And some unresolved emotions, back and neck pain, anger, we know, hate, autoimmune diseases, bad relation, IBS. That is a wonderful one experience I had. Orthopedic surgeon daughter, she was doing her final MBBS. Since 2 years, she was suffering from IBS. One day after listening to my lecture, mother and daughter came to our home, and I went through all her reports. Actually, then everything was normal. They went to Bangalore, Chennai, Hyderabad, and including Bombay. More than 30 to 35 times colonoscopy, endoscopy, all scopies, all possible scopies were done on her, but result was same. She was suffering from IBS. Then I started asking her question over a period. Then I asked that, do you have any problem with the relationships, close relationship, especially blood relationships, that we call it as umbilical relationship, we call them. Then suddenly mother said, yeah, about 2 years back, father and daughter had a fight. Since then they stopped talking to each other. Then she developed IBS, started developing IBS. And since 1 year, their relationship has really spoiled, and IBS has become very severe in her daughter, and also father started suffering IBS. Then I told her, today night you are going and you are talking to the patient, you are talking to your father, and if at all, if you feel like hitting him, hit him and then hug him and start loving him. Okay, you should not carry any negative emotions about your father, because it is a blood relationship. You should not carry it. Even we should not hate others. Then automatically father or mother, we should have a very good relationship. She did the same thing, like a miracle. It disappeared. IBS disappeared within 1 week, because 70% of the IBS, 70% of the migraine, usually they will have because of the negative emotions, the same reasons. And cancer also, just if when you start listening to the history of the patient, usually within 3 to 7 years, they will have a major negative emotional, some incident at home. Usually 90% of the patient will have, because when they have negative emotions, their immunity starts coming down, because we all have a cancer cell. Cancer cell is nothing but a rogue cell. It doesn't want to follow any rules and regulation, which starts taking over it, and it becomes a big tumor or cancer, something like that. That's why always we have to ask the emotional history, and correcting the emotion is much more important than, I think, physical or other whatever treatment we give it. That's why in Kannada, it's a Sanskrit actually. Kshamavan aptova sevi bhavet arogyam. Such a wonderful. Forgive and treat everybody as your kith and kin. Then automatically our health start improving it. And most important thing is, because these emotions and other things, we can't see it, spirituality and emotion. That's why people are not much bothered about working on that. Only seen is whatever physical, they start working on that. That's why I always advise them, if you don't work on what is unseen, it is very. Hello. Hello, can you?
Yes,
Yes,
sir.
sir, we can hear you.
We can hear you.
Some voice is coming. I
Yes,
don't
sir.
know. It is very difficult to sustain what is seen, because perception is one of the main characters of a human being, which the modern study says, Bruce Lipton, Biology of Belief, says controls your behavior, controls genes and rewrites genes. Most of our perception is always negative. When I have a negative perception, automatically I'll have a negative behavior, negative gene, and it rewrites the negative genes only. Then automatically we'll have some or the other problem. Especially modern days, it is increasing the incident of cancer. One of the main thing is the food. Second important thing is our negative emotions. Third is we are losing our spirituality. These three, when we are going to lose it, the incident of cancer, arthritis, whatever chronic diseases is going to increase like anything, in spite of whatever we call it as the best available facilities in the modern day medicine. And another thing, always I advise my patient, whoever comes as a cancer, I tell them, don't fight against cancer. This is a negative word. Fighting against cancer is because my own body cell has turned into cancer. That is an arrogant, stubborn character cell has turned into cancer. It is my own cell. If I start fighting or if I start hating it, then automatically it becomes more arrogant, it starts more developing it. That's why we should not fight against cancer. We should tackle it and start loving myself. Then automatically those cells also, because the emotion it carries, it starts, the spreading becomes very in a minimal way. Then we can have a very positive response. When we start thinking negative against something, what happens is, wherever our attention goes, energy flows and it grows. Even if it is a negative, negative grows. If it is positive, grows. And cancer is very simple. It is an immune system disease, as we all know. Like we are never bothered about improving the immune system in most of our therapies. What we do is in holistic therapy, it is always the patient, because whatever you are going to give, it is not going to help him unless his immune system improves. That's why we always advise them to have a very good immune system, because immune system is like body without nutrition is army without weapon, and body without immune system is fighting without army. See, so many things about the food and other things I'm going to talk in the next other slides. And 50% of the cancer patients die because of the malnutrition. Just I'm giving the introduction about these things, then I will come to my whatever therapies I use it. And 5 breakthroughs, important, most important is, it is actually I'm concentrating on, it is most of the times we say genetic is hardly 2 to 4%, and more than 96% is epigenetic. That is outside atmosphere, whatever it influences on my genes is much more important than the real genetic. That's why always we say diabetes runs in family, they say, people say. I say, usually I tell the patients or other people, diabetes runs in their family because nobody runs in that family. When they don't run or they don't do the exercise, it runs in their family. That is a problem actually. See how to tackle this as a holistic for therapy, especially cancer. I'm concentrating on cancer. We should have 3 types of diet in our life: physical diet, emotional diet, and spiritual diet. These 3 are very important. And 5, we should mind 5 things. That is, 1 is food and water, 2nd is emotions, 3rd one is breathing, sleep, and 5th one is upvasa or starvation, we call it as. This is all very important to have a very good treatment. Why emotion is very important is, you can see they have done a functional MRI of a patient who was violent. You can see the frontal lobes change of the color, like it changes so much that they are going to have a negative impact on those, and automatically not only on the brain, but all over the body, it will have a negative impacts. And this is the photo taken by Dr. Thornton. It is one of my closest friend who stays in Britain. See, when a child is having a burger, you can see the aura around him. It is a reddish. That is a photography he has got it. Because why it is so important is the food. The food what we eat is today is full of chemicals. That food itself is causing a lot of diseases, and especially one of the main contribution for the cancer. And I told you that also affects my emotions. Emotion is very simple. Definition of emotion is emotion, energy in motion, whether it may be positive emotion or negative, positive energy or negative energy. If we are in positive, then we are in wellness. If it is in negative, we are in illness. That's why food is one of the, as per Ayurveda, food is one of the important thing which gives subtle energy to the body. That means subtle energy is an emotion that affects the mind. We think, everybody thinks mind is in the brain, but it is not like that. Each cell, around 100 to 120 trillion cells of my body, carries the mind. That's why the holistic approach to the treatment of cancer is much more important than the targeted. Targeted means only the liver, only kidney. It is not a spare part like car or something. The whole body is important, because mind is present in all my 120 trillion cells. And the other causes of cancer is, as we all know, this is about the food a little bit, that will I'll come. Most important is night shift. WHO has declared night shift is carcinogenic. Just imagine, because it reduces testosterone, female hormones, and also it is a carcinogenic. And food, all we know, because food is fuel. But what is happening is, in modern day, it has become an entertainment. People started eating and giving more importance for the taste than the real subtle energy of the food. They don't respect the food. They add so many chemicals to the food. When they are growing, they add lot of chemicals. When they are eating, they are adding a lot of chemicals. See, when they are preserving it, they use sodium benzoate or methyl paraben. These two are highly carcinogenic. We know these are all preservatives. And when they want to grow food, they use a lot of chemicals. These chemicals and weedicide, very frequently they have started using it. That weedicide is Roundup. Roundup is highly carcinogenic. And food is another important thing. Is every time when you eat or drink, you are either feeding disease or fighting it. That we should remember it always. See, this is how we use pesticides in our agriculture nowadays. And most important point, especially two important things we should remember whenever we think of the food is, one is VARAC value, another one is ORP value. VARAC is oxygen radical absorbance capacity. See, this is actually oxygen radical absorbance capacity value is very, very important. We should know a little bit about VARAC value. What are the, food items which has got a very high VARAC value. VARAC value should be very high. ORP should be in the negative. Then only will have a more positive effect on the body. It will have more of antioxidant effect. This is always I teach my patients and we follow whatever our VARAC value. Highest VARAC value is Indian gooseberry. Individually, if you take it, it is around more than 3 lakh units. VARAC value of Indian gooseberry or Nellikai, we use it in Canada. This has got a highest VARAC value. But when the combination of gooseberry with other things like called as Triphala. Triphala is combination of 3 phalas. One of them is Indian gooseberry. Those Triphala has got a more than 7 lakh VARAC value. When we advise the patient, usually cancer patient or any chronic diseases, ask them to talk. Ayurvedic people will be knowing about much more about the Triphala. Triphala means 3 phalas. They will be knowing much more about Triphala. I will usually advise the patient to start at least every night Triphala powder or Triphala churna. We call it as churna or something tablet, so that it has got a very high antioxidant property and a very high VARAC value. It is around 7 lakh. No food or nothing will come near to that, because whatever they say, even blueberry, those berries, different berries which come from different countries, that doesn't have even near 1 to 1.5 lakh of VARAC value. Whereas Indian gooseberry has got a very highest as an individual. Triphala has got more than 7 lakh VARAC value. And ORP, it is a negative things. ORP, when you look at the ORP, it should be negative. And henceforth, whenever you see something, always you check for ORP. If it is a positive, it becomes oxidation. You will have a lot of oxidation and you will get into diseases. ORP should be around -500 will be very good. Very important thing to overcome most of my chronic diseases, especially cancer. Because we have a bottle which manufactured by IMC company, which has got a ORP value of -500. When you keep the water for 5 minutes in that ORP value becomes -500. Usually we ask the patient to drink such water so that it will have a very highly antioxidant properties. And this is very important. We know pH value of the body. It is a neutral is around 7. Whatever we are eating today, drinking, eating, whatever food we are taking, all these pHs, it is somewhere less than 7, and it is becoming more, and body pH is becoming more and more acidic nowadays. As the body starts becoming more and more acidic, all chronic diseases starts. Do you know, like very simple is, every home will have in a way RO, reverse osmosis water unit. The pH value of reverse osmosis water is around 6 pH. That means whenever we are drinking the water, in terms of pH, we are not drinking the water, we are drinking the acid. And other colas, the lowest is 2 to 2.5 pH. We drink so much of acidic food, we are eating so much of acidic food, we are drinking so much of acidic drinks, automatically cancer, arthritis, all these diseases are gradually increasing. See, very simple, we drink so much of coffee and tea, this is a 5 pH. I told you RO water is 6 pH. All non-vegetarian will be around 3.5 to 4 pH. Boiled water, bottled water is around 4 to 5 pH. Most commonly we drink nowadays. And sports drinks promoted by so many our sports icons without knowing much science. It will be around 3 to 4 pH. That means more and more becoming acidic, start becomes more and more chronic diseases. That's why this slide beautifully says acidic is sickness, alkaline is wellness. Like if you keep your body pH around 7.5 to 8, no fungus, no bacteria, no virus, not even the cancer cell can survive in the body. What are the other things which has got much more than 7 pH? This organic food, whatever organic vegetables, organic fruits, and organic food, these are all usually will have more than 7 pH. And normal natural water will have more than 7 pH or 7 to 7 or a little bit more than 7 pH. And baking soda, which is around 9 to 10 pH. And Indian cows mutra, like gomutra, no? Gomutra will usually have 10 pH. That's why that is also very good anti-cancerous. And of course, Indian cows panchagavya, we also use that when patient agrees to take it. Gomutra is one of the part of our treatment when that body pH starts increasing by taking all these things. But when we start adding chemical and start growing the food items, the pH starts coming down below 5. That's why we have to have organic food to overcome our diseases. Otherwise, whatever therapy, whatever treatment we take, if we don't eat organic food and proper water and drinks, we are not going to improve, because our body is a heap of food. Our mind is heap of emotions, and our atma is pure, that we are spoiling all these things because of our food. And some people say organic food is too expensive. Of course, when they get the disease or something, they will understand the cost of those treatment, or they say popular, so are medical bills and funerals. Everything will be very costly. See, another important thing is, we always, as soon as you get a cancer patient, it is better to advise them to stop sugar, any sugar content, especially white sugar, because this is 20 grams of sugar if you consume at a time, the immunity goes down by 50% for 4 hours. Once immunity goes down, our military goes down. If we take out the military, automatically cancer cell will start enjoying it. And when they eat sugar, they are feeding the cancer. See, what they do is, in PET scan, usually it is a radioactive sugar syrup, they give it. And once the patient takes the syrup, after a little bit of time, they take the photograph, only cancer cells will be craving for the sugar, which takes up the PET scan, whatever radioactive sugar. Other normal cells takes its own time to get into that, because it is not craving for sugar. Cancer cells will be craving for sugar. That's why it takes up. Then you take the photograph that says the metastasis. Here you can see in lungs, liver, or something, metastasis. That's why always sugar must be completely banned, or any sweets must be completely banned for cancer patient. That itself gives them the lot of energy. You can see once you stop it, they start getting the energy. And also it is very important, a lot of people, they eat especially genetically modified soya, which reduces, it is well established now, reduces absorption of iron, zinc, mineral, and selenium, which are very important micronutrient of the, some of them are micronutrients of the body, which again alters the cellular metabolism, and it becomes abnormal. Metabolism starts becoming abnormal growth of the cells. Trans fat, refined oil, and fast food, gobi manchuri, chicken. Not only this, even the shampoo, chemical toothpaste, and things like this also, which contributes for the development of the cancer. We have to avoid all these things. It may be in a very small quantity, but actually it is makes a very big contribution in the development of disease.
Baby powder.
See, University of California, actually it has clearly says processed foods and leukemia and brain tumor are very important. Unless we ask them to stop it eating processed food, we cannot treat properly the brain tumor or leukemia, because that is the one which is causing them a lot of diseases. And also it is another study shows University of Argentina one glyphosate, which is the main component of uh, Roundup, which is a weedicide. Most commonly, most of the agriculturists, they use it in food growth. When glyphosate is absorbed into the body, it easily 85% of all cotton derived feminine care products, from tampons to sanitary pads, contain a chemical linked to a wide range of health problems, including infertility and cancer. See, even though the cleanliness in the females are increasing, but at the same time, cervical cancer and all the diseases of the females are also increasing. That is because of the glyphosate, weedicide. They are using left and right in agriculture purposes. That's why organically grown food, even if it is a little bit extra costly, we have to go for that, and we have to promote. As being a holistic doctors, we have to promote that. Otherwise, it is very difficult to tackle the disease. See, some of the glyphosate effect, you can see it when they fed it for rats. You can see how tumor grows. And another most important in the younger generation is they drink lot of cold soft drinks, cold water, all those things. Netherlands studies shows when body temperature comes down by 1 degree, 40% decline in immune system. And whatever practice we are practicing it, whatever food we are taking, everything is reducing our immune system. And at the end, we complain, oh, atmosphere is so spoiled, doctors are not good, hospital is not good, nobody is bothered about our health, government is not bothered. And that is, we only are inducing ourselves by doing all these mistakes, inducing a lot of diseases, especially cancer and arthritis. See, the most important what we use in our holistic therapies, one of the important is curcumin. Organically grown curcumin is the most important component of my treatment, especially because curcumin is, you can see, more than 36,000 papers has been published on curcumin on different various diseases, and more than 3,600 papers on internationally. It is published by so many other great scientists on cancer. Curcumin acts in so many ways, and we know curcumin is antiviral, antibacterial, antiseptic, antifungal, antimalarial, anti-arthritis, anti-tumor. It has got such a wonderful effect on all the diseases. The curcuminoid is the medicinal molecule which contains in curcumin. We have to use the organically grown curcumin, then only it will be effective. By chance, if they use with some chemically grown by using weedicide like glyphosate or other things, then automatically instead of curcuminoid, that will have glyphosate or whatever organophosphorus poison. That is not going to help them, it is going to harm them. That is, organically grown curcumin is much more important. It has to be. See, what is the advantage of curcumin is, it is scientifically proved that curcumin sensitizes the cancer cell for chemotherapy. It also sensitizes the cancer cell for radiation. That means it, whatever chemotherapy radiation, even if they take along with curcumin, then that will act like a targeted chemotherapy or targeted radiation, because cancer cell becomes more sensitive to these two therapies when they use along with other therapies. And these are all other curcumin you can see. Important in our treatment, I am not going to advise them to have a very costly food or something, because one simple example I would like to give. See, you can see the groundnut, peanuts and almonds. See, 30 gram of peanut contains gives you 160 calorie and 7 grams of protein. Whereas 30 grams of almond also gives 160 calorie and 6 grams of protein. When some patient asks me, can I have it almond or something, then I show them these slides, and I will tell them to have peanuts, which is naturally grown, and it is damn cheap when compared to almonds, which is not a naturally grown in our place. That is why we have to give more importance to the local food, which gives you more protein, more energy, more healthier than the imported foods, especially from Australia, New Zealand, America. And another tablet nowadays, we get almost all nutritional supplements. Tablet we get is from the tomato. Tomato contains that is especially we call it as a nati. That means a local tomatoes grown, not actually genetically modified tomato. Local tomatoes contains lot of content called as lycopene, which is very, very, very important, and it is highly antioxidant and highly anti-cancerous. Lycopene gives a wonderful effect, especially in the breast cancer and prostate cancer. It gives a very good result. Just tomato juice. Let them have, but that should be Indian tomato juice, Indian local tomato juice, not genetically modified tomato juice. This is very important. We have to encourage the local, locally grown and with the local, not genetically modified food. Actually, then only we can have a very good result. See, this is what we follow even at our home. We use a lot of mud pots to prepare ganji and rice, sambar, rasam, other things. See, because it is very important to have these two essential amino acid called as fulvic acid and humic acid. Fulvic acid and humic acid, these two are very essential amino acids which you get it only through the mud. You don't get it through any other routes. These are all very, very, very important amino acids. These two only you get it through the mud. That's why we have to use the mud pot to prepare the food. Then only you get these two essential amino acids to have a wonderful immune system. Otherwise, what happens is nowadays we are not getting this fulvic acid and humic acid because we have stopped using the mud pots. We started using more of aluminum and pressure cookers. In pressure cooker, it breaks 95% of the micronutrients get destroyed, and aluminum 90% waste, and on top of that aluminum is getting added to our food. Whereas brass and bronze, see, if you use the brass, it will be 93% of the nutrients you can get it, whatever you are eating. In the bronze, 97% you get it. Whereas if you use a mud pot, you get almost 100%. That is why it is very, very, very important. People say I'm using wonderful fruits, wonderful vegetables, wonderful food, everything. But if they are using the pressure cooker, it has become inevitable part of our life, pressure cooker nowadays. But that is taking out almost 90 to 97% of our nutrients. We are hardly getting any nutrition. See, another important is zinc, magnesium, and vitamin D. These are all very, very important nutrients of the body, micronutrients of the body. That's why we encourage them to have more of sprouts, spinach, broccoli, groundnut, garlic. All these vegetarian, I've used most of these things so that it will be anybody can use it. Magnesium, banana, greens, spinach, groundnut, cashew, black beans, basil, celery, and black pepper, bioperine is very, very important, and vitamin D. And we usually what we do is we make them to especially stand or sit in the morning sunlight to get a vitamin D. If you are exposed to vitamin D for minimum 45 minutes to 1 hour, that will improve your immunity by 10 to 15% every day. And black pepper, it is very important. It contains the bioperine. Always we should add black pepper along with all our food, because the characters of the bioperine is it makes whatever food you take it, the bioavailability of that micronutrients to the body, it increases. See, bioperine increases the bioavailability of the micronutrients of the food product, which is added to that. That's why black pepper should be used in almost all the food ingredients, especially in Karnataka and South India. We use black pepper left and right in almost all the preparations of the food. And coming to the different techniques, what we use is another is ozone therapy. See, just to show you the picture, we have a ozonator, and when medical oxygen is connected to that, and depending on the concentration for cancer is a different, for these different diseases we have to use different concentration. that is a ozone, we get it as a gas form, that then we use it for washing vegetables, then we do so many other procedures. This is the simple, you can see the first photo in the see these, you can green leafy vegetables. Half an hour if you soak it in a ozonated water, you can see the leaves have become so fresh and lively. That much of oxygen it is released inside the plants. When it is able to increase so much of oxygenation in plant, just imagine how much it may produce inside the body. Ozone is, as we all know, it is O3. O3 is very unstable. When we inject into the, not in a direct form, different techniques we have. When we give it ozone, within 15 to 20 minutes, it start releasing lot of oxygen, and O will go and get attaches to the free radicals and acts as an antioxidant, whereas O2 starts increasing. Once oxygen starts increasing, automatically cancer cannot survive in the body. And as we all know, emotion, laughter is the best medicine we know. And this is in between slide, just I have put it. Laughter is the best medicine. I say it is because it releases dopamine, serotonin, so many other chemical messengers. And the best example is one of the greatest artists from America. I'm not getting his name. He had a cancer and autoimmune disease also. When he started watching Laurel and Hardy, other comedians movies, within 1 to 1.5 months, he recovered from all the diseases, and within 3 months, he had no cancer. This is official. He has written a book on top of that also. On that, the very popular book is also there. That's why we say laughter is the best medicine. But at the same time, if you laugh without reason, you require medicine. Another technique what we most commonly use is Pushpa Vijnana or flower remedies. This is very few people use it in India. Is a Pushpa Vijnanam was it is mentioned in Ayurveda, but it is not much popular. Now batch flower or flower remedies is becoming more and more popular even in India. Very few people are practicing, especially my friend is very good in, has become an expert in batch flower. I work with him. Different, whatever in Ayurveda, we use the roots and other parts of the plant, whereas in flower remedies, they use the extract of the flower of the same plant instead of using the roots and bark. Okay, that concentrated flower juices, use it along with the other medicines to improve their conditions. Each flower has got such a wonderful effect on so many diseases. Only we should know to use it properly, for which disease which flower is more important. And other things what we practice very commonly is aloe vera, basil, tulsi, daswala we call it as bilva, brahmi. Ayurvedic people will know. Curry leaves, it has got highest calcium. Instead of taking calcium tablets, which is chemical, which may not be absorbed in the body, curry leaves has got a highest calcium. I will ask them to take usually along with the Indian cow, that is buttermilk prepared by Indian cow's milk. If you use that buttermilk along with the curry leaves, that gives the highest calcium and it starts improving your condition, especially in cancer patients. And baking soda and salt, actually we use it as a rock salt, because difference between rock salt and white salt is white salt contains more of sodium, which is dangerous to the body, whereas rock salt contains more of magnesium, which helps to overcome the diseases. When we mix baking soda is around 10 pH, it starts improving my pH, body pH, along with the rock salt. We will ask them to drink a lot of baking soda and salt, rock salt water. Ginger and honey, and especially A2 milk, that is Indian cow's milk is called as A2 milk, gomutra, and seeds of all fruits usually contains vitamin B17. We all know this is a highly anti-cancerous. We ask them to take all those things. And ozone therapy is, what are the procedures we do is MAHT, we call it as major auto hemotransfusion. We take around 250 to 300 ml blood from the patient. We mix a ozone of the same quantity, around 250 to 300 ml to that bottle. And again, we transfuse it. You can see first blood from the cancer patient, second blood after mixing the ozone. so much of oxygen concentration is increased, you can see in that. And we do bagging, ozonated water we give them to drink, and ozonated oil to apply over the open wounds and other things. And we use the instrument called as AccuLife to reduce the pain of the cancer. Within 3 to 5 minutes, patient will have minimum 50% of the pain relief in spite of so many powerful cancer pains. Like they will be taking around 5 to 6 morphine tablets. Usually we keep the morphine only in the night. Then we teach them the acupoint or Suzhou points to them, or Marma points. Then we will ask them to practice applying pressure or needle or something. We teach the patient attendants so that they get a wonderful pain relief. This is a medical light therapy, which I use it. It is called as hyperpolarized light. This also increases the blood supply to the particular area and a lot of improvement, especially in the open wounds, in cancer and diabetes. So last but not the least is spirituality. That is very, very important. We will ask them to be more spiritual, because if you are becoming too much of materialistic, then automatically we cannot have happiness in our life. Instead of that, if you become more spiritual, at least with whatever we have it in our life, in spite of, irrespective of lot of difficulties, abnormalities, everything in our life, we can be happy. That is what is called as spirituality. In Kannada, in Sanskrit, we call it as Adhyatma. The Pehla importance given to the Atma is called as Adhyatma, we call it as. Adhyatma is very, very important. Spirituality. Next is called as Pranayama. This is a little bit I would like to tell you about this. They have done, John Hopkins University has done a lot of research on Pranayama. They have used two group of patients of same breast cancer patients, A and B. A, both protocol treatment was same, but they asked B group to do deep breathing, that is 10 to 12 breaths per minute for 72 hours. That means 3 days. At the end of the third day, like fifth day, they have taken the biopsy of breast lump. It was a cancer. There was more than 36% of the breast cancer cells died in B group who did deep breathing. That is the effect of pranayama. This is a very simple, but it is very effective. If they do, especially Anuloma Viloma, everybody will be knowing about in this group, especially Anuloma Viloma. If they start practicing it, that not only helps in overcoming the cancer, whatever diseases, it also helps in weight reduction and also helps in controlling the mind. You can practice it, especially if you want to reduce the weight. Only you have to breathe through the right nostril for 40 to 60 times morning and evening. Then minimum 1 to 1.5 kg per month you can reduce the weight. If you want to increase the weight, on the left side, this is a sun, this is a moon, this is a Ida and Pingala, no? That's right. Another thing is meditation. Everybody will be knowing about the meditation, but little bit about meditation. We ask them to practice meditation, pranayama. We will make them to do it. We teach them and we send them practicing. We will send the patient so that they can practice doing these things. Meditation releases dose A, easy to remember. Dose is dopamine, oxytocin, serotonin, endorphins. A is, the recent research says, Lumir Hannes and William Devan, they have done a research. Meditation releases another hormone. They named it as Anandamide. Anandamide. When you become really happy, all the cells in the body, including the cancer cells, become happy and starts behaving normally. Once it starts behaving normally, automatically, even the cancer cell starts getting converted back to normal cells. And those who are not interested to convert back, they will die. This is what happens inside the body. That's why meditation is so much important. See, we have a equipment which measures our aura, stress, energy. You can see effect of mantra chanting. We have done it. We can see the first aura before chanting. Second one is after chanting. What happens to their aura or biomagnetic field? And you can see the stress, it has come down and energy level has increased. And this is a few research of the meditation. You can see telomere, length of the telomere. And Vipassana, you can see what happens to the chakras. This is the instrument, we got it from Russia. It gives a wonderful result, and you can see the stress level and energy level. And this is done by Brahma Kumaris, where actually they have done changes in prostate gene expression. 30 men with prostate cancer, they have used it. They have intervention, lifestyle changes, diet, exercise, supplement, stress management. That is epigenetic effect. The result was wonderful because it has changed the genetic expressions. And a little bit about curcumin, how it affects is in 6 stages. It helps in cancer transformation, initiation, promotion, invasion, angiogenesis, and metastasis. All those things, it affects on those things and helps in overcoming the cancer. And sleep, the 4 hour, see, sleep is so important. We ask them to sleep because that's why we give them a little bit of sedation in the initial period. 4 hours reduced sleep in one single night reduces 70% of the natural killer cells immunity. And also learning reduces by 40% for the students, especially it is very useful. If immunity comes down, automatically whatever you give it from outside not going to help them, cancer is going to increase. That's why we should see that patients should sleep properly. Especially that's why we advise them to have a yoga nidra so that they can have a wonderful nidra yoga. And those patients we admit here, we teach them Agnihotra Yagna. A lot of research has been done on Peru and other Germany, Russia. They are doing a lot of research on those Agnihotra Yagna, so that gives a positivity and it start giving them the positive emotions and also helps in their respiratory problems. And we all cancer, as a holistic therapist, we should teach them they must avoid white sugar, white rice, white milk, white salt, white maida, and white cosmetics. Very simple. And because also they should avoid acidic foods, acidic thinking, acidic people, processed oil and processed people, and bakery products, because processed people are much more dangerous than the processed oil and other bakery products. We should be very careful about those such friendship also, because they directly impact on our emotions. Bakery product, why we should avoid is it is mainly manufactured by maida. Maida, as per naturopathy, because I did my naturopathy diploma in yoga and nature cure. As per naturopathy, it takes minimum 15 to 21 days to get digest and go out of my body, whereas normal food maximum is 72 hours, maximum. That means once if you eat maida, but maida is very tasty, you can't avoid it, it is very difficult actually. Once you eat maida, it stays in my body. Not only it gets spoiled, it also spoils all my other nutritions. Sugar, maida, these two are very dangerous for my cancer patients. And that at the last, I told you about the spirituality. See, what happens is, I tell always, we use a lot of gentamicin, vancomycin, garamycin, all those things. See, there is a lot of hidden message from these antibiotics. We use it, no? Gentamicin, garamycin, vancomycin. These are all because of mycin. It is typed, it is printed there, mycin. Instead of C, change it to S. Because of mycin, I am using all those antibiotics. That's why we have to careful about mycins, creating sin, whether it is a physical, emotional, or spiritual. Allopathy, homeopathy, naturopathy does not matter. What matter is sympathy and empathy when you are curing or when you are treating or when you are taking care of some patient. If allopathy, homeopathy, naturopathy, sympathy and empathy, 5 pathis, that means the treatment must be Draupadi. 5 pathi means wife must be Draupadi, no? Treatment must be Draupadi, patient must be Draupadi. If patient is not getting cured by these 5 pathis, I always advise them to go to Tirupati and pray Lord Venkatachalapati, because that is the spirituality is the ultimate. Once you are spiritually, you become strong, automatically your emotions get cured. Once your emotions is get cured, automatically your food habit becomes real sattvic. Once your food habit becomes sattvic, then we can come out of lot of diseases. That means we may have some diseases, but we'll live positively so that we can add years to our life and also years to our life. That is more important. Instead of only adding years to our life, we should add life to our years whenever we survive. That is very important. And my take-home message is for my friends, seniors, and colleagues is, see, whenever we are treating the cancer patient holistically, the first and foremost thing is we have to make them emotionally strong. We have to assess them, and emotionally we have to spend some time and we make them emotionally strong, first thing. Second is we tell them, don't fight against cancer, just take it as it comes. If you start negative things, then negative things starts growing it. Okay, second. Third one is avoid sugar, especially sugar and maida, as early as possible, so that they start feeling some energy, and they should start using organic food. Everyone please start using organic food. And once you start using organic vegetables, organic fruits, and organic food, you can see the difference between the energy level before and after. And fifth one is start using very simple groundnut, whatever locally available different green leafy vegetables, even if you are not using ozone, and those are all extra, I'm telling. Groundnuts, jaggery, organic jaggery, curcumin, organic curcumin. You add bioperine, that means green pepper to everything, whatever you use it, so that it will bioavailability increases. These are all simple things. We can change it at our home level. And if possible, you start using mud pot for preparing at least once in a week or once in 10 days. Start using it, preparing ganji, natural ganjis, depends on the different states, different places. You use it. I'm going to finish with the last American research on especially South Indian ganji. They have done a research on that. Organically grown red rice ganji, if you prepare it in a mud pot, that usually contains 3.7 milligram % of iron for 100 grams of red rice. If you prepare a ganji in a mud pot in the night, then keep it until morning. That is minimum 8 hours of fermentation. If you allow it to get fermented, then iron level becomes 71.1 milligram %. 3.7 to 71 milligram % iron level it increases, and also a lot of vitamin B6 and B12 you get it just by simply doing organic red rice ganji in a mud pot. The iron content increases so much. Personally experienced and personally I advise so many patients to improve the iron. Within 3 months their iron level goes 2 to 3 grams. These are all simple practices. We should start doing it, advising the patient. Top of that, we all know about meditation, pranayama, and of course, flower remedies and ozone therapy, Aculife and light therapies. We use it along with these things to get a good result. Not to just to mention it, we have a lot of great film actors from Telugu. They 2-3 film actors, their mothers especially, they have got really wonderfully. They have cured. I have a reports also. If somebody is interested, I can send those few reports. How PET scan before and after, what happened actually, what are CT scan reports, all those things. Just start doing these things. You can see the difference in your patient. I thank the organizers, especially Dr. Ranjan, Dr. Chandana, and all those organizers for giving me an opportunity to share my whatever little bit of practice I am doing it. They are the great souls doing a lot of service, really spending their precious time in doing some service to the society. And I should remember Dr. Chandrakala, who introduced Dr. this to the group, and Dr. Chandana Madam also. I thank Chandrakala also, because that is a gratitude. Once we show the gratitude, as we all know, water inside the body also structure changes. That will help more for me than other people. Thank you, one and all. Once again, I thank you. Namaskar.
Thank you, sir. It's been a wonderful session, and it's an honor to have you here, sir, because I think every Sunday we have one person like this giving us a lot of information, and they're all like something like pearls of wisdom. So I also thank Dr. Chandrakala. She has been my very close friend so throughout my journey. So thank you, sir. Thank you so much, Dr. Ranjan.
The most wonderful thing I liked, sir, allopathy, homeopathy, naturopathy, it doesn't matter. What matters is sympathy and empathy.